Very excited. Thanks, Colin. It's an amazing atmosphere. Remarkable to think we're here in Romania with Middlesbrough on the brink of a European final. I can think of countless marvellous servants to the Teesside club, Colin Cooper included, who would never have believed an occasion such as this was even the remotest possibility. Here we are, though, after that astonishing comeback against Basel. An 1800-day dream believers have made the trip to roar Steve McLaren's side on in a highly intimidating atmosphere in what is Romania's national stadiums. The team's lining up now. And we're going to have a look at the Middlesbrough lineup first of all. Some big names are missing: Southgate, Mendieta, Riga, Pogatet's among them. But the Borough boss is confident that these men can silence the Stour crowd. It's a massive night for teenager Matthew Bates, just 20 or 30 games behind him, but called upon to partner Ugo Ekihog in Gareth Southgate's absence. Another absentee, Mark Viduka, well, that makes the choice of strikers easy. The call for goals goes out to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Yakubu.
Well, this is a strong lineup with pace and power down the flanks. Borough will be looking for the partnership of Yakubu and Hasselbank, as you say, up front to grab that vital away goal. Lessons will have been learned surely from that 2-0 defeat in Basel in the quarter-finals, though a goalless draw might just suit both coaches. Key players are certainly missing from Borough, but confidence is very high.
As for Stour, well, they're said to reflect their youthful manager, Cosmin Oloroyu. He was a defender, and they don't give many goals away. The star performer is the midfield linchpin and captain, Miro Radoi, an international of the highest repute. And if goals do come, well, the men to look out for are Nikolai Dika and Banel Nicolita.
Well, once again, a very well-organised side face Borough tonight, who have slightly changed a winning formation from the quarter-finals. Dika up front, as you say, is a major threat, as is Goyan, who has scored 4 goals in Europe this season whilst playing at the back. This is a powerful team with an all-international outfield lineup who have achieved some great results in the European competitions this year with goals from all positions.
Extraordinary to think this is Stour's 17th tie in Europe this season. They were actually qualified for the Champions League. There is Matthew Bates. He had a birthday on Boxing Day. He was just 19. He couldn't have dreamt of an occasion like this. Yes, Stour got knocked out in the pre-qualifying for the Champions League by the Norwegian side Rosenborg, having overcome the Irish team Shelbourne before. As for Middlesbrough, well, the season just goes on and on and on. This is their 57th match in all, and they've played 23 cup ties already. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, can he do it again? 4 goals in the UEFA Cup already this season. And Terry, I know you said you've been here before, but the atmosphere, I think, is better than it was in your day. Yeah, it certainly is. There's a lot more freedom here now, of course, but there is a lot of noise here, a lot of... it's a friendly atmosphere as well. It's not hostile as far as we're concerned. We're led to believe it might be, but it's not. It might get hostile for Middlesbrough, but surely they must have learned lessons from Basel, because things were going pretty well up until the final 2 or 3 minutes just before half-time, and then the whole world seemed to cave in on Borough. But they would have learned the lesson from that, and they'll be looking for that goal, of course. You've got a shot there of the referee tonight. It's up to him to keep order. Alain Hammer from Luxembourg. There he is, and he's a top Champions League official most weeks. Steve McLaren. Well, what an end to the season it might be for him. How many finals can they win? Sven-Göran Eriksson here to see them home, perhaps. And a big smile on the face of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. 5 goals in his last 10 games. So you hardly need reminding, it is so colourful. Middlesbrough in the all-red, Stour in the all-blue. And a fantastic noise around this stadium. You can hardly miss Frank Cadrew, the Frenchman there, who's got a huge bandage around his head. Every time we've seen Middlesbrough recently, some players ended up with a bandage around their head. Yeah, but remember Pogatet's in the last game against Basel. I mean, he had a horrendous blow. He's obviously missing for the rest of the season with that. And Ekihog before that, and a huge night for Ugo Ekihog as well. 3 months ago, he thought he was on his way back to West Bromwich Albion, where he began his career, but it was not to be, and here he is on the most important night of his footballing life, arguably. Yeah, obviously Riggett suspended and Southgate not available through injury. That may be key for Borough as far as they're concerned, but with Bates and Ekihog, it's much an untried partnership at this level in terms of Europe, but they're big enough, they've played enough games for the first team, and they've got good experience around them. Good solid challenge by Rockenbach, who really has come into his own in the last few weeks. I think even by his own admission, he didn't enjoy his first 6 months at the Riverside Stadium. He didn't look as though he was enjoying it, and then suddenly he got that goal against Chelsea. We were talking earlier to Colin Cooper about it, and it lifted his spirits, and he's since played admirably. It's going to be a bristling start, you feel, here, and important for Middlesbrough to see out this opening phase. Well, it certainly is. It's a chance. It looks a beautiful pitch as well.
them to play on, and they'll be quite very pleased with that. But they've got to play it cagey. And like I said in the intro, 0-0 might just suit both coaches, although with Stour, as far as they're concerned, 0-0, they do get great results away from home.
I don't think it would suit the fans, Terry. The home supporters always expect to see a goal or two, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not saying we're looking for a 0-0. I hope there certainly isn't going to be a 0-0. I certainly hope that Borough score, but it's cagey when it comes to these sort of matches, particularly in the semi-finals. It's more like a chess match.
The ball was clattered downfield by Schwarzer. Happily restored to the #1 jersey now for Borough. And he'll be heading for a World Cup shortly with Australia. Hasselbank will break onto this one. Bides his time under the challenge there of Ogararu. He almost trod on the ball. And immediate action from referee Hammer against Rockenbach. Is he going to do a yellow card him? Only in the 2nd minute of the match. I don't think he is, but I think it's going to be a stern lecture.
Yeah, just a little reminder on Dicker there, who's the star player for Stour from Rockenbach. As here he comes in now. Well, you can't quite see it, but there he goes away from the incident, having been spoken to by the referee. Dicker felt the impact of that. Expect a few little meaty challenges early on, but it's a comfortable one for the referee.
They've got some height in this side, and there's another crunching challenge, this time from the Frenchman. Well, if you come away to a hostile atmosphere like this one, you've got to be up for it, and we expect meaty challenges. Free kick to be taken by Ogararu. Every single one of these players internationals. And just about all Romanian as well, apart from the goalkeeper who plays for Congo. Well played by Yakubu, playing a very withdrawn role there. And Middlesbrough will have their first free kick here for the foul on Rockenbach, who a year ago we were watching him play for Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, we certainly were, just being fouled there. Ogararu again. But yes, we saw him play, and obviously that tempted Steve McLaren and Steve Gibson to go out and get him and take his services to the Riverside. And it's really been since that Chelsea match when he scored early on that he's really come to the fore.
Yakubu, strength and presence, but can't retain the possession. It's nicked up by Rockenbach now to Bates. And interesting to hear Steve McLaren say that he's every confidence in Matthew Bates. He's a sensible lad. He's an intelligent, bright player. And they've got a real plethora of good youngsters, haven't they? When you think that the likes of Cattermole and Johnson and Kennedy are not even on the bench tonight. I know Cattermole can't play, of course, but the other two could have done. Forward by Kudru. Yakubu being covered by the tallest defender back there. Ogararu, who was loaned out last season to a club called Ottolul Galati, but he's back here now, and Ekihog surely will steer this one back to Schwarzer. They shout and they whistle and they hoot here. I was here a couple of years ago with Liverpool, and it was quite an unnerving experience then, especially down on the touchline.
Well, I wasn't here, but my club Rangers many years ago were here, and there wasn't much noise from the crowd, just from the loudspeakers. They seem to play crowd noises through the loudspeakers just to get the atmosphere going, but there's no need for that tonight. It's a wonderful atmosphere. This is what semi-finals in Europe are all about.
It's a good stadium, even with the surrounds. The spectators are a long way from the pitch, but it is a good stadium. Rockenbach on to Kudru. There's good shape about Middlesbrough these days, and again Steve McLaren positive, saying that at the moment they're playing with the wide man and scoring plenty of goals. They're confident.
I think with Yakubu and Hasselbank in the middle as well, if they put good crosses into the box, then they've got a right good chance of getting someone on the end of it.
There is Kudru looping the ball forward and getting on the outside as well, and he should get a cross away here. Kudru's ball in will be accepted by goalkeeper Carlos Alberto. He's the one who plays, as I said, for the Congo.
It was a good break down the left-hand side. The ball itself wasn't bad. He was stretching to make the cross. Two players on the far post. Couldn't quite get his foot round it. It's not a bad cross. Comfortable catch for Carlos, though.
This journey began for Middlesbrough way back in September in Greece at a place called Xanthi. And then they overcame Grasshopper of Zurich, Dnepropetrovsk. There's a decision against Borough here. Handball. one of the most impressive sides they took on, and that was AZ Alkmaar, a club that's figured in your past, Terry.
Yep, they went away to Holland and drew 0-0. They've had some pretty good results, Middlesbrough. They haven't played as many games as Stour have. Stour played 16 matches in the competition, well, in Europe, not in this competition, but in Europe.
I know you've just seen the text message instructions go through at the bottom of your screen. We always ask you to give us your views on the footballing topics of the moment, including this game, of course. All you have to do, text 888, followed by your name, your location, and your comments. We look forward to hearing from you and perhaps reporting what you've got to say at half-time. Kadru's ball in field, easily accepted and then driven forward by Radoy. He's played 35 times for Romania now, Radoy. Looking to hit a Prita up there. Now Yakubu. And he steered the header down very well indeed, and there'll be a long-range shot here. And it's going to go wide. But encouraging stuff that. It was a beautifully delivered ball, and Morrison couldn't whack it into the net.
Yeah, there's the ball up, and good headed back down here by Yakubu, and he's thinking about it here. Morrison, shall I take it on? He does take it on, doesn't quite hit it as well as he would like to. You've got to hit that one really across the keeper if you can, towards the far post. Hopefully that the dip would take it back in, but a tentative effort. But it's good to see him getting forward.
He scored a couple of excellent goals in last season's competition, James Morrison, one of the youngsters. And Steve McLaren actually fields the ball on the touchline. All the throw-ins taken by Ogararu, who played in a recent World Cup qualifier for Romania against Holland, as many of these players did. Now the tall, lumbering figure of Guinea. No foul. Goal kick. Referee Hammer not to be confused there as Dicker made the run. And I think Steve McLaren reasonably content with the opening minutes.
Yep, just taking a nice little swig from the bottle there. And I'm sure that if he gets a good result tonight, he'll be sampling something a bit stronger. I know we will, I tell you.
Speaking for yourself, of course, then. I hope you brought some lays. Looks like it's going to be kept in by Downing, and I'm sure Sven-Göran Eriksson is here partly to look at Stuart Downing. There's still talk that he could, of course, get on the plane to Germany. He may have left it a little bit late now. He's had a stop-start season, the young left winger. But Sven always interested in the performances of someone like him.
It's nice to see 5 Englishmen playing for Borough as well tonight.
It is a good surface. That ball flew through to the goalkeeper. It looked as though it might have held up at one stage, but it didn't. It shows it's a good playing surface. I was at Highbury last night. That's a wonderful pitch. Always has been. Long looping ball, and Dickerson, and so was Oprita. First chance really. And Dicker goes down onto the deck.
Well, all it was really was just one speculative cross into the box. Middlesbrough not able to deal with it. Here comes the ball in. It goes to, it's headed up in the air here. And no one reacts to it. It comes back, and Dicker, little speculative little lob there. Ekiog couldn't quite get to him. If he just kept that down, that might have gone into the top corner. That was what he was trying to do, get it in that top corner. But no worrying signs then. Pleasing signs obviously there, but I mean, worrying signs from Middlesbrough point of view. That one harmless ball in the box did cause a bit of panic.
Rocking back for Borough, and a little deft header from Hasselbank down to Downing. They close down quickly to Stour, no doubt about that, and Hasselbank gets closed down so quickly his shin gets a good wrapping. An apology forthcoming from the offender Ogararu, and a free kick for Borough.
I think Jimmy just felt that one there. I think he was thinking about the foul anyway. Just took his touch to the side, and I think he's just been raked there by the studs of Dicker, who's not afraid to put himself about, because he's on the receiving end of a Rockenbach tackle early on. Now he's the one that's making the tackle. Sampling a bit of revenge, I think.
Now with this bowl of a stadium and the track around the back of the goals, it looks a long way away, does this, for Rockenbach, but he'll loop it in there, and Yakubu gets a header away, but it's a harmless header. Still getting used to the pace of the game, probably, and the pace of the surface. Pitches at home still varying a little bit at the moment. Some good, some not so good at all. It's amazing how many clubs have had problems with their surfaces this season.
And most of the clubs don't play their football or their reserve football at their home grounds, do they? So, yeah, there has been a problem, but this is a fantastic surface. It's a nice bit of grease on the surface now with the dew